Ignition.
Hi, this is Joel Persinger. I'm the Gun Guy. Thank you very much for all of your support on GunGuyTV. I'm very grateful for everything you do, so please don't stop. By the way, if you haven't already checked us out on one of these alternative platforms, I do urge you to do that. Every once in a while, YouTube will delete a video. They just deleted one the other day, and I'm kind of debating with them as to why. And you'll still be able to find it on these platforms, even when YouTube makes things go away. So I urge you to subscribe to at least one. That way, if something disappears on YouTube, you'll be able to find it over there. I will put a link to the most current deleted video for you so you can see what it is in case you're curious. Now, you might also check out the GunGuyTV Firearms podcast. You can listen to it on the way to work or on the way home if you like. It's available on all of your favorite podcast players. Okay, what is this particular video about? It's not the Mini 14, it's the sling. I don't know why I never made a video on it before. I should have, because for years people have been asking me, what sling is that on your Mini 14? And I keep answering the question individually, so I thought, well, I'll answer it now. This is a Blackhawk, I think they call it a Universal Swift Sling, and it's actually set up so you can configure it a whole bunch of different ways. I don't have all of the parts here because this is the way I like it configured, but it does come with some various different configurations in the instructions and with extra parts and pieces you can use. This happens to be a black one I have on another rifle, but those are the parts and pieces. I've found that I really like it a lot. Now, before I go forward and tell you anything about slings and why I like them, I want to make sure that you understand I'm not a veteran. I've never been in a war zone. I've not been in a firefight with a rifle. So I'm not speaking from that perspective. I'm speaking from the perspective of a hunter and a guy who has worked as a security contractor and owned a security company here in the United States, where from time to time we've been in posts where we've had shotguns, basically, not so much rifles, and you've got it strung around you. And you just want it to be comfortable and you want it to be handy and be able to get to it. So I carry a gun, when it's a long gun, most of the time I'm hunting. I don't own the security company anymore. So it's a hunting thing. But I have learned to use the sling in different ways. The other thing is I come from a perspective as a guy who's taken a lot of tactical training. I've never had to use it, but I've been to Front Sight and other schools, and you want to have a sling so that you don't wear yourself out having to cart your rifle around. And I've found that, at least at those classes and schools, that single point slings, while they're really cool in a lot of respects, every time I have to transition from long arm to my sidearm, I drop the gun and it comes down and hits me right squarely in a place where I don't want a gun to hit me. And then if I'm moving, it's dangling down in between my legs, driving me nuts. Where a 2-point sling pulls the gun over tight up against me to the side, a 3-point sling does the same. Now, there is a specific reason why I like the 3-point slings on these guns, which is my Mini 14, my shotgun, and my Sega. Let me show you a little bit of how it works for me, recognizing that a sling is like a holster or any other piece of clothing or garment. It's a very personal choice, and there's a lot of pros and cons for each individual. This is what I like about them. It may or may not apply to you, so check it out. One of the things I like about these slings is their versatility. You can carry it just like a standard rifle. This is generally how I carry my rifle when I'm hunting, along with my walking stick. I'll show you in a minute. I carry it this way because it's quick to action. And then when I want to put it away, it's a really simple matter to just grab the sling and sling it right back over my shoulder, and then off I go again. Let me show you that one more time. It comes up really fast. Pow, there it is. And then when I want to put it away, it's just a matter of grabbing the sling over by the butt pad and putting it right back over my shoulder. At the same time, if I want to carry the gun in a more tactical fashion, I just have to open up the loop. It's already set up to do that, and put my non-shooting hand through it. And now the gun is slung across me in a tactical fashion so that it's real quick to get to that way too. The 3-point sling gives me the option to do either. That way the gun comes up very quickly. And then when I want to transition to my shotgun, it pulls the gun away from my groin, so it's not slapping me right square in the recreational center. I can square it away and put it in a stored mode, and then lift it back up if I need it, and then put it away. It's just very handy for me. The gun comes up very quickly, goes away, and my transition to my handgun is pretty quick, and my transition back is fairly quick as well. Now, the other thing is that it's important to be able to transition from your right shoulder to your left shoulder or whatever. You can set this up righty-lefty. It's got a little clip and a slider, and you can make the hole bigger or smaller depending on what you want to do. If you undo the clip and then shorten up the hole, once you've got the gun mounted, then you can transition from one shoulder to the other really simply, and there you go. Now you're on the other side for working around cover or whatever. Some people don't like it because they don't like the fact that it pulls the sling up against your neck or your throat, but it doesn't bother me. I actually like the sling, and so I don't even notice it pull up against my throat. And then when you're done, you can sling it right back against you the way you did before. So I really do like these. They work very, very well. Now, as you can see, I had the gun slung in this particular manner. In other words, I took my support side, my left side, since I'm right-handed, and I fed my left arm through the sling, and that's what brought the sling into this position in front of me. There's another position that you can use, which I like, and I like it for a reason. I just recently did a podcast, I think, where I was talking about the fact that I'm learning some different techniques that are old but very useful. If I take, for example, my shooting side and I put that through, if I'm right-handed, it would work the opposite if I was left-handed. That brings the gun down into this position, and once again I still have my slide so I can adjust it up, down, whatever I want to do. But this gets me in this position where I've got the gun down here. One of the things I'm studying right now and practicing is Rex Applegate's teachings on using this as an instinctive shooting position when you don't have sights that you can use, or you really are in close quarters where a long gun is too long. You can bring the gun in close like this, and wherever you put your eyes, whatever you look at, if you practice it, that's where your round's going to go. Now, I've been practicing it a little bit, and I can tell you it really, really works. It's a highly effective technique that has been lost, I think, through time, because you're not looking at your sights, and now it's a big deal. Did you see your sights? Did you see your sights? Did you see the optic? Well, no, but with point shooting, as with point shooting with a handgun, if I'm really close, as I've said before, if I can take the round out of the gun and throw it and bounce it off the guy's forehead standing in front of me, I don't need sights. What I need is to shorten up my gun a little bit so he doesn't grab it and be able to hit him if I'm defending myself. So this is a great technique, and at the same time, this sling, because of the way it's designed, causes me not to lose my gun. I'm not going to lose it. It's connected to me. The other thing I've noticed when I'm using it is that it's still easy to transition to my sidearm. All I have to do is maintain my forward grip here as I reach for my sidearm, and then set the gun down as I transition, and the gun is still here. It's still connected to me. So I do like these slings a lot. Now, I've tried several of the 3-point slings until I landed on this one. Some of them have pieces dangling all over them, and they're kind of a pain in the butt. This one does not, and so that's one of the reasons why I like it. Now, you may not, and that's fine. It's a personal preference issue. But in case you'd like to check one out, I will put a link in the description if I can find them. They're kind of tough to find. I don't know why. And if I can put one up on the GunGuyTV store for you to look at and order if you want to, I'll do that. And then you'll know where they are, and you can order one if you want to. If I can find them on Amazon or something, I'll put a link to that too. And that way you can order them. If you're going to do it from Amazon, if you find it there, I would appreciate it if you use our Amazon link and use the link I put in the description, because that way we get a little marketing fee and it helps GunGuyTV out. This is a great sling. I really like it. Most of the time that I'm using it as just a normal rifle sling, and I'm carrying the rifle muzzle down. And there's a reason for that, is I'm a hunter, and a lot of times when I'm hunting, because I'm getting older, I'm using my hunting walking stick. I also like walking sticks for a different reason. They're great support for your firearm when you're hunting, taking that shot while you're standing. I actually posted a little video on Patreon some years back showing exactly what I meant by that, so let me show you that now. So I asked Zach to shoot this little video, and I'm being loud now because we couldn't find any pigs anyway, and we're going to probably go look some other areas. But yesterday I forgot my shooting stick, my walking stick. Today I brought it, and I want to tell you, if you're an old guy like me, the difference in your stability while you're walking around, because you're carrying a big pack and a bunch of gear, with the stick and without it, is huge. This is a Brazos walking stick. That's who I ordered it from. They make really good sticks. And people brag about them, but let's face it, it's a stick. So if you find a good walking stick, that's all you need. You want it to be about this high compared to your body. When I was a kid, my dad was quite the hunter, and he taught me how to use one of these to make my rifle stable. So I thought, since I got it, I would show you, because we're going to pack up and go someplace else. With a shooting stick like this, it can be any kind of shooting stick as long as it's long enough. There's a couple different ways to carry your rifle. One is barrel up, one is barrel down. I forget what they're called. I think one is European carry, and one is American carry, or whatever. Doesn't matter. If I've got a stick, I'm stable. I'm not worried about sticking my barrel in the dirt, slipping and falling. So I generally carry it barrel down. Here's why. If I'm hiking and I've got a shot, if I didn't have chaps on, I just use my pocket. But since I have the chaps on, I can't get to my pocket. But I'm going to take the stick and put it inside the chaps and make sure it's got a good connection there, and hold it about like this. Rifle comes up, over the top, and I just grab the stick. Now I've got my shot. What's nice about this is it's handy, it's really super stable, and I can move. I'm not stuck to the ground. So if I need to move my shot around, I can do that. Here's the trick. You got to put the rifle away, and you got hunting buddies. So you'll notice when I pulled it up here, I pointed it that way. You don't want to swing it around where it's pointing at your buddy. I love Zach. We're really good friends, and I don't want to point guns at him. So when I put the rifle away, I got to be able to get it back on my shoulder. The easiest way to do that is to grab it here by the sling, but you got your thumb in the way, and it's going to grab your thumb. So just lift the gun off your thumb, lift your arm up a little bit. You can lay it on your wrist. All you need to do is grab the sling like that, put it right back on your shoulder. You've got your stick, and you're off and running. So as you can see, the versatility of a 3-point sling is what attracts me to it. The fact that I can use it in different configurations and I can sling the gun to me in different ways depending on what I'm doing and where I am makes it appealing to me. Some folks don't like them. I get it. Some folks do. I happen to be one of the ones who does. So I'm sharing it with you primarily to answer the question I get all the time of what is that sling on your Mini 14? Well, now you know. And just so you know how much I like the thing, I've got it on my Mini. You saw it on my shotgun, and I have exactly the same sling on my Sega rifle. So I'm sold. I like the sling a lot, and I know how to run it, and I've used it in classes and other places. I really like it. So that's my choice for these style of rifles. Now, on an AR-15 or something that's configured differently, I would use a different sling. In fact, probably I would use the Magpul padded 2-point sling. That would be my choice on those. But you know, every gun's a little different. These guns, because of the way they're designed, these slings just work better for me. So check them out. That's the Blackhawk. What do they call it? The Universal Swift Sling. And like I said, I'll put links in the description. Thank you very much for watching. Have a wonderful week, and please be safe.